Welcome back to Raw Forestry, where snow gets deeper, roads get worse, and the machines only get more stubborn. Hokkaido's Soya main line looks unreal, with that Russell snowplow tearing through winter like it owns the tracks. And the precision of that grip attachment is just as impressive. It doesn't smash ice blindly. It peels it clean off the pavement without destroying the surface underneath. That's not brute force. That's controlled force. Then we get a proper recovery job in Russia, heavy rig back on its wheels, clean and precise. In conditions like that, even choosing the right pulling angle is half the battle. One bad line and you drag the truck deeper instead of back to the main path. And then there's the Nebraska madness. Somebody turned a Corolla into a snow-crawling mutant. Looks ridiculous, but if it works in deep snow, nobody gets to laugh for long. Heavy loads on icy roads are always ugly. If the guy ahead touches the brakes at the wrong time, the whole situation goes bad fast. That's what makes winter driving in places like Turkey so painful to watch. Everyone's trying to help. But the order of operations looks confused, and that truck just keeps sliding backward like a slow-motion nightmare. On the other hand, some setups make snow look easy. The Lux HD package passes its test clean, and when two giants go head-to-head in deep snow, the Toyota Land Cruiser once again reminds everyone why it owns the off-road conversation. Then comes the cold reminder from Wyoming. Back in 2015, a blizzard turned Interstate 80 near Cheyenne into a chain reaction pileup involving around 60 vehicles. Winter doesn't care how experienced you are if the storm gets the upper hand. You can see real professionalism in the little things too. Wheels not turning at first, probably waiting for enough air pressure to release the brakes. Slow, but correct. That's the kind of patience the heavy recovery teams on the M5 live on. Old diesel iron has its own kind of drama too. Watching an M3582 fire up at 24 degrees without ether, coughing black smoke before finally roaring alive. That's old school mechanical honesty. In Beauharnois, Quebec, snow removal is basically science at this point. Designated dumping fields, organized hauling, no wasted motion. And then in Blandon, Pennsylvania, a truck driver makes the kind of split-second choice that saves lives, sacrificing his own rig instead of plowing straight into a pickup. That's not luck. That's instinct under pressure. Some people, though, see chaos and just walk away like nothing happened. Unreal. Then you hit places like Vladivostok, where one icy stretch turns the road into a trap. That's why self-contained snow collection units matter: chop, lift, load, and haul in one system. For cities and large lots, that kind of design isn't a luxury. It's practical survival. And train crossings? Worst place imaginable to get stuck. Good thing that driver got out in time. Storm footage from Dudinka is another reminder that winter doesn't stop at the road. Hurricane-force winds ripping the roof off a residential building. Terrifying stuff. In Yakutia, first snow already has the Ural next at work. Some people say the driver is rough on the gearbox. Maybe. But these machines weren't built to look pretty, they were built to work. Then the agri-metal setup shows how driveway snow clearing gets serious. Way more capable than a small walk-behind blower, and honestly a lot more satisfying to watch. Communication matters too. If a car is basically getting dragged around like luggage behind a tram, somebody failed long before the movement started. River crossings with loaded logs are another level of risky. One soft patch and the whole operation turns into a recovery video. Meanwhile, winter in Norway looks like a playground for Scania snow-clearing rigs, and that specialized yellow frame blowing snow off bus roofs is one of those simple ideas that solves a real problem: no melt, no refreeze, no deadly ice slabs later. Then we get the classic heavy equipment truth. Sometimes it takes 6 units to pull one giant plow out of a trap. That's not overkill. That's what the terrain demanded. A person on the sidewalk survives by a split second. A Mazda Familia takes a brutal side hit on Rusky Island Circle, and people say the driver may have had a heart attack behind the wheel. Just a bad, sad situation all around. Then the soundtrack changes. A 1998 Freightliner classic fires up. That old Caterpillar diesel clears its throat, smoke rolls out, and suddenly it's pure American iron again. And yes, somebody out there looked at a bulldozer and thought, that's basically a snowboard. Then back to hard lessons. Always use the parking brake. One truck almost wipes out a neighbor's car. Another loaded dump truck decides to visit someone's living room because somebody forgot to secure it at the garage. That's not bad luck. That's negligence. Same with containers. A 4,585-pound empty container sliding off because the locks weren't secured. Predictable disaster. And to finish with one more avoidable mess, forget to unlock the tailgate, and suddenly that Sino truck Howo is doing a wheelie instead of a dump. That's raw forestry snow, steel, recoveries, near misses, and the brutal difference between skill and carelessness.